when I knew that you had the left brain and right brain thing was, I remember we were making Rough Riders Volume 1. First of all, I get it. You said Siobhan, shout out to her. She's the COO of COOs, boss. Love her. She was the person who made sure everything was done on time. But we were doing Rough Riders Volume 1, and I remember we had to drop it off for mastering. And you came you came to Interscope like on 57th Street, double park, with a bunch of dats falling all over the place. And obviously, Jigga My Nigga was one of those songs, but you had it all, it was like disorganized and super organized at the same time. But what I realized, you must have been 19, was that you were the producer, but you were dropping off the delivery of the entire album, and songs were coming from different people. You were basically running the show, and you understood the urgency as a businessman to bring it all together. And that's when I knew that you. That's the first sign that I knew that you were a business person as well as obviously a creative. But tell me early on, you tell great stories about when you first started making money. What did you do with that money? Let's talk about you. When you first started making publishing money, what did you do with that money?
Well, you know, this is. I said this story a couple of times, but it never gets old. I remember going to ASCAP to get this insurance card that they had. They had this insurance card that they want everybody, all the artists incentivized to come get. And I remember going there, and I remember seeing the young lady that used to always take care of me there. And she, you know, I took like 2 buses, 3 trains to get there from the Bronx. I was still in the hood, heavy. And I remember going in there, and I remember her energy was different. She was like, "Oh, Kasim, Swizz, how that bone?" Like, I was just like, damn, like, she in a real good ass mood. And she just kept like congratulating me and thanking me and congratulating me. But I'm just thinking it's because of like the music that I was putting out. And then she was like, "Yo, how does it feel to be rich?" I said, "What you talking about?" And she was like, "No, how does it feel to be rich?" I'm like, "I'm not rich. Like, it took me like 3 hours to get here. I'm not rich. You know, I would have definitely took one of the African cabs to get down there with the nice music at that time." And she was like, "No, I'm the one that's sending you your checks." I said, "What checks?" He's like, "Your publishing check. I send you your checks." I'm like, "Those checks are real?" So I had a shoebox for like 700,000 in it for like 5 months that I didn't even think they was real checks. I thought they was like publishing clearinghouse checks. My grandmother used to tell me to always put the checks in the shoebox. So I had all those checks in the shoebox this whole time. And mind you, I'm seeing D in the BM, I'm seeing Wad, he in the, you know, everybody's starting to get nice things and different things like that. But I didn't know whether it was the streets of the music. You know what I'm saying? Because my uncle, they always was fresh, but I just seen like an extra fresh start out of nowhere. Like everybody just was like face. And I just was like, man, that was crazy. So the first thing I did when I found out that money was real is what any black man coming up from the hood, coming from nothing would do. I went to the Benz dealership and tried to buy a S500 on a debit card. and I was so pissed because the dude wasn't taking me serious. I got braids in my hair. I'm baggied out. I probably had one of the things on me. I'm just in there with one of my guys, and I'm thinking he trying to play me like I don't got the money. So I'm like, "Oh, you trying to play me?" I said, "No, I want this right now. I need this right now. I don't got no driver's license or nothing, by the way." And so I go to the ATM and I print out to show him, you know, I got like 800,000. I was like, "See, I told you I got the money. What we doing?" And he's like, "I can't sell you the car on a debit card." And then spoke to my grandfather. and got with the financial advisor and then got my shit straight. But that was that.
Now, when did you buy the Ansel Adams?
Oh, I bought the Ansel Adams like 2 or 3 years from that.
So your appreciation for visual art was you love Benz, what was kitted out Benz, you love that, but at the same time you had an appreciation for art simultaneously.
Yeah, because I
For
bought my
visual art.
first home in Jersey, $300,000 all cash, and then I wanted to put. I didn't want posters on my wall. I wanted to put art on my wall because it's just it just felt like the right thing to do. I always had a love for art from growing up in the Bronx and just seeing Keith Haring's and Fab Five Freddy and all those, Doze and Stay High, all those great artists at that time. So I've always been into arts. And then I just started going to galleries. I just started going to galleries, and I just couldn't understand why the art was so expensive. Like that's what was rocking me. I was like, man, they want like 50,000 for this. They want 100,000 for that. I didn't really understand it at that time. So I was doing more learning, just learning the ropes, like being very inquisitive. And I remember Mr. David Rogaff, who was one of my mentors at that time, was taking the time out to explain to me the difference between a G Clay, the difference between an artist proof, a trial proof, the reason why this Warhol series Diamond Dust is better set than this set because it's matching numbers. All of the stuff. You had the Campbell Soup series as well. Just breaking down all of those different nuances because the art world was different at that time than it is now. It was only one African American that we all knew about at that time, and that was Basquiat. Now there's many. So